Afternoon, all you Team Teddy supporters. It's Sunday and it's 3 weeks since Bear had surgery to put that plate and 18 screws in his hind leg. And it's about 2 weeks since he had to go into surgery again to have the lower screws replaced. As a lot of you know, it's been quite a roller coaster, which, we knew it was going to be, but nothing really prepares you for it. For those who didn't catch our live feed with Bear on Wednesday evening, I wanted to let you know what's been happening with your boy since we found out last weekend that he was having to fight off that really nasty bacterial infection. You may remember his bandage and his cast were removed and they found a discharge at the top incision, which was cleaned up, and an antibiotic with the best chances of killing the bacteria was injected directly into the vein in his leg with the help of a tourniquet to ensure it was targeting the right area. Jonathan and his team decided that rather than making another cast for him, the existing one was split and strapped over the top of the bandaging so that it could be removed and they could check the discharge, but also offer him the support that he needed from the cast, which is really important as well at this stage. On Tuesday, Jonathan arranged for him to have his first acupuncture session, and by all accounts he thoroughly enjoyed it, so he's going to be having some more this week. He also got several visits from his Auntie Jane, who's been an absolute godsend in being able to visit and pamper him in between our own visits. While she was there on Tuesday, Bear had a little bit of a pedicure, as you'll see from the following video. The farrier, Simon Anderson, was at Rainbows, so Jonathan asked him just to tidy up his front feet. And again, as you'll see from Jane's videos, he managed to bear weight on both his hind legs really well. I'd also like to say a big thank you to Simon for allowing us to share his video, although I believe his family are used to being in the spotlight, with his daughter Georgia being married to that amazing horseman Ben Atkinson. On Wednesday, Frey and I went over to see him, and although Jonathan felt that he was slightly less comfortable than he had been last week, in himself he was really bright and happy and clearly had a very good appetite and was being quite cheeky, which was really, really lovely to see. The plan was to change his bandage again on Thursday, which they did do, and Jonathan tells me that there wasn't quite so much discharge from that upper incision, which they were obviously relieved to see. Unfortunately, they weren't able to put any more antibiotics into the vein because that vein's broken down quite badly and they didn't want to damage it any further. But the whole team felt that what the best thing to do now was to allow his immune system to fight the infection along with the other full body antibiotics that he's still having. Now, Bear doesn't really enjoy the bandage changes very much, so once they'd removed his stitches, and I think they've just left a couple in the bottom incision, they decided to make him another full cast to try and give him more support for another week to 10 days. Now, one of the things I wanted to say was that I'm always really grateful for your ideas, your suggestions. Many of them we will have thought of or done. Some may not work for us, but please never think that you can't make suggestions, as sometimes there's going to be something really valuable that, we hadn't thought of, or it's something new that we can learn. Now, I received an email from Maureen last week with a link to some research that had been done into platelet-rich plasma therapy, or PRP. And the research was done to look at how it could combat bacterial infections, which I knew nothing about. So naturally, I wanted to ask Jonathan his thoughts on this. And of course, I wasn't surprised to hear that they'd already discussed this as a team, and it might be an option. It's something that they will consider when they do the next cast change, subject to whether there are any obvious signs of infection or not. So, Maureen, thank you for prompting me to ask the question, and it's been really fascinating to learn more about it. Apparently, if they do it with Bear, it wouldn't necessarily be with his own blood. It would be a process called PRP lysate, which contains platelets from a donor horse's blood plasma. So anyway, let's continue to remain positive that there will be no signs of infection when the cast is removed next, which in an ideal world will not be for another 7 to 10 days, so that he gets that extra support. As has been the case from the start, everything Rainbow is doing is completely governed by Bear's own comfort levels. His meds have been reduced this week to just 1 bute and 2 doses of paracetamol, and he remains bright-eyed and as comfortable as could be expected. Being a bit of a control freak myself over the treatment and day-to-day care of the horses, not just from a physical point of view, but also from being able to identify how they're really feeling and respond accordingly, it can sometimes be hard for me to step back and let others take full control. Jonathan Dixon and the team at Rainbow have absolute world-class knowledge and expertise, but on top of this, they're making sure that in between Jane and our visits, that Bear is getting the love and attention that he thrives on, and will help him to keep having a reason to fight this. I strongly believe that if he was just a number in a little square box with little interaction with people, he would have been a typically stoic Friesian, but inwardly he would have probably given up the fight. Thank you, Team Teddy, for allowing us to give Bear the best chance he has of survival. Yes, his veterinary costs have escalated from what was initially expected, but I know that Rainbow are conscious of the generosity of all of you, all his supporters, and are looking at where they can help make his treatment and care costs as reasonable as possible. I'll obviously share more on this with you when I can, but for now, if you are in a position to help towards his ongoing care, you can find the links in the description. I plan to visit him again on Tuesday evening, but for now, please just enjoy these few clips, courtesy of Jane and courtesy of Jonathan, and keep sending those well wishes, that strength, those positive vibes and energy, and all those prayers, because undoubtedly it helps.
Using bad language.
Yeah! you won't do though with this handsome man.
No, he's a handsome boy as well, isn't he?
He is. There, aren't you being good? Yeah, have a sniff of his bum.
He's a gentleman.
Yeah, he's a gentleman.
He doesn't piss and tell us.
No, he's been well. Good boy. Good lad. Oh yeah. Good boy. Good lad. Stood well?
Stood well. Very well. What a gentleman.
Yeah. Our Bear. Yes, he's got fans all over the world who are all sending positive energy.
Wonderful.
To fight the infection.
What it's like to be loved, eh?
Oh, he is.
Loved and admired.
He's loved and admired throughout the world, our Bear.
Well, actually.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at him, he's sort of, you know, his symmetry and balance is obviously asymmetrical.
Yeah.
But sort of, you know, he's coping with it very well.
Yeah.
That soft ride boot on that right high just makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
Because he distributes weight far better than the Heartwell shoe does.
Good boy, Bear. Not enjoying the drizzle this morning.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Auntie Jane reporting in on Bear Watch. Hello. Hello. So he's got his apples ready for his dunking. Good boy. Good lad. He's got his herb lunch, some cleaves and some grass. He's got a grass ball that he can nibble away at as well. So this is him. That's his Paulie. But he seems bright. And while I was making his tea outside the door, little monkey was kicking the door. I'm looking forward to his herb mix. He's got cameline, he's got marigold, he's got cleaves, he's got a bit of licorice in there, he's got some treats, mint treats, Baileys, or bad nugs as we used to call them many years ago. So yeah, he's looking well. Gonna give him a cool down. Are we, Bear? Are we? Who's a gorgeous boy? Who's a gorgeous boy? Yep. Mr. Bright Eyes. Good boy. Go on. So I cut the apples into quarters because it's easier for him to get hold of. It's back to lunch. Good boy. So some grass courtesy of Gateford near Selby, and I've hidden a few treats in there, which that's what he's nibbling at. So he's got some nice long grass, a bit wet, hence the from the rain, some cleaves, his little herb mix, and his water bobbin. And not seen that, have you? That hay ball. I have to see if that'll do. See what you think of that. Well, it's got loads. It's got lovely fresh breath from the minty treats. So lovely you could snog him. Bear. Hello, gorgeous boy. Hello, gorgeous boy. You are. You are. Is that nice? Oh, yeah. He goes, thank you. I'll have a bit more.
Can you not get it?